Welcome to Coffee Talk with the Cajun Mamas. Grab a cup of coffee, settle in, and let's dive into real conversations about life, motherhood, and a little inspiration to brighten your day.
Hello
and welcome.
Welcome back to Coffee Talk with the Cajun Mamas. Today, we're going to be talking about having faith during difficult times in your life. You know, it's
Yeah.
not always sunshine and rainbows. It's not always Buddha and crackling.
It's
Sometimes
not.
it's debris.
Sometimes it's debris.
Sometimes it's pons. And I don't like that either.
Or the tongue.
Or the tongue. Some people's like,
yeah.
man, that's my favorite
I
dish
love
right
debris.
now.
Yeah.
But I'm telling you, sometimes no, that's just an example.
Yeah.
Sometimes it ain't all peaches. And it's just life. And so why not? We're going to talk about things like this, okay?
Yeah.
But first, we're going to talk about Long's products, our grand sponsor. A grand sponsor for the month of December. Long's products is all your household cleaning and janitorial products that you need. They have their very own brand. It's called the Pelican brand of chemicals, and y'all they got to be so popular they went viral on TikTok. But they made right here in Central Louisiana. They have products like the Pine All 80, Dunzo Degreaser, which I can personally attest to, takes all the yuck off your stove hood vent things. Housekeeper number 1, toilet ring remover, Digest Plus enzyme, which if you have pets and you have that stink in your house from them pets, the TT stains, you need that Digest Plus enzyme stuff.
When you walk in the house and the dog is the first thing you smell.
Yeah, no, you need to get you some products from Long's.
Need some Digest Plus.
So go ahead and find them on TikTok, Facebook, Instagram. Their handle is at Long's Products or longsproducts.com, and you can have it shipped to your house, Shy. Okay, y'all. So it's December. It's the holiday season, you know, and although there's so much to be celebrated and so much to be thankful for, there also comes sometimes hardships and sadness that can come along with the holidays, you know, whether you're going through something in your life or you are, you know, missing a family member or whatever the case may be.
Yeah.
There is also that side to things. And the reason I want to talk about this is just because we don't want you to feel alone. We don't want you to feel like everybody's happy but me right now during this time. Like, what? You know, my life is just so hard right now, and I feel unseen. I don't feel loved. I don't feel validated. I don't feel peace, you know, and we just want you to know that that's the season you're in right now, but it's going to pass, you know, it's going to pass, and you are seen and you are loved. Even if not by man, you are loved by our Father in heaven.
Absolutely.
You know, and now is the time you need to dig in and really hold
cling
fast,
to the cross.
Yes, to your faith. And I mean, I didn't expect to go into this topic so fast, but I don't know. I just feel like that's what I should say right now. So I wanted to bring up some scriptures.
Yeah.
Okay.
Let's do it.
Like what during hard times, what does the Bible say about hard times and what to turn to? Because
and especially at this time of year, because you missing those family members, you missing or maybe like you said, the estranged, you know, families or the strained relationship.
Yeah.
And it's just so common, you know, but it's so common to get caught up in it and feel like you were the only person not celebrating, you know, the way everybody else is. So,
and then you feel guilty about feeling that way, you know, and maybe you feel like everything is just so fake around you, like all this joy and stuff and this happiness is like superficial, and like all I really feel inside is deep, you know, sadness or depression or whatever. So the only thing I say the only thing, but the main thing that I know is when you combat these sad thoughts or these depressive thoughts with thankfulness. It's gratitude. It's hard to be upset and thankful at the same time, right? So like I try to, even in my everyday life, when I'm having just a bad day or like I feel disgruntled or feel discontent, I'm like, think of something to be thankful for. And for me, I got to say it out loud too.
Blessings.
Count the blessings that you do have. Okay. So I don't know. I want to read a few scriptures to y'all. I want you to remember these things, to combat those thoughts when you have it and those feelings. Okay. And I'm not saying don't feel that way, but I am saying that this may give you a little bit of hope, and something to help uplift you a bit. Psalm 46:1. God is our refuge and strength, a very present help in trouble. I always think of that, a very present help in times of trouble. Isaiah 41:10. Don't be afraid, for I am with you. Don't be discouraged, for I am your God. I will strengthen you and help you.
And he goes before us.
Yeah.
He goes before us in the battle.
Yeah.
He's there. You there. Like you just there. But he has gone before us.
Yeah.
So he already knows.
He already knows.
And that is a comfort to me.
Big time. Psalm 9:9-10. The Lord is a shelter for the oppressed, a refuge in times of trouble. Kind of went with that other one. John 16:33. I have told you all this so that you may have peace in me. Here on earth you will have many trials and sorrows, but take heart because I have overcome the world. I love that one.
I love that one.
That's like a hug from Jesus in my mind. Like, it's okay. It's okay. I know you're going through these hard things, but at the end of the day, I won. The battle's already been won. I have overcome. Okay. Psalm 55:22. Cast your burden on the Lord and he will sustain you. He will never permit the righteous to be moved. That's a good one. Cast your care. Well, I always think cast your cares.
Cast your cares.
Cast all your cares on the Lord. Yeah. Psalm 121, verse 1 and 2. I lift up my eyes to the mountains. Where does my help come from? My help comes from the Lord, the maker of heaven and earth.
Of heaven and earth.
Yes. Okay. And this
or 8:28. Ephesians, isn't it? 8:28. Ephesians
8:28.
We love that one. Is it Ephesians? I don't know. The one that says, he's working all things out for the good.
Oh, I think that's
Romans.
I think it's Romans.
Okay.
Yeah, I think it is Romans. Okay. 8:28. Yeah.
He's working all things out for the good.
Yes.
And even when we think, how could you be doing this? How could this be the good?
How could, yes, like, why is this happening to me?
But God's timing is so perfect. It just is. And so that helps me in knowing he's working all things out for the good. I might not understand what it is at the moment, and I don't know why I'm feeling this at the moment, but he knows. And that should be good enough for me.
I know but these are things you have to remind yourself.
Right.
Like, it don't just come easy. The flesh is loud. The flesh screams. And
you can see it.
Yeah. And you have to remind, the spirit in you has to remind your flesh who's boss. And that God already got this.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. All right. Well, before we start into the heavy stuff, let's go ahead and talk about Renewed Vitality. Renewed Vitality in Lafayette. That's my cousin Emily. She's a nurse practitioner. She offers a personalized, holistic approach to your health and wellness. She offers services from primary care to hormone replacement therapy and advanced functional lab tests, and very, very professional, but so knowledgeable about her field. And I just love that. And she's so willing to learn more and be open. And I love that. So you can book your appointment if you're looking for a way to be on your way to optimal health naturally. Book an appointment online with her through renewedvital.com. And you can also follow her on Facebook and Instagram. Renewed Vitality. Revitalize your health and reclaim your life.
Love it. Thank you, Renewed Vitality.
Thank you, Renewed Vitality,
for being a sponsor of Coffee Talk with
the
Cajun Mamas.
Thank you very much. All right. So, as far as difficulty goes, everybody has their own trials. And we also had an episode having an episode this month talking about comparison and what do you see as opposed to what you don't see.
Yeah.
Well, we try to be as transparent as possible as far as what goes on in our lives behind the scenes. We want you to see real things. We want you to, we want you to feel seen, but we also want you to know, and in this episode, especially, just that, we live a very blessed life, you and I, at this moment.
Yeah.
And when all this kind of started, I said, man, this is going so well. We're having so much fun. What a dream job. Something's going to happen.
That's how you think. That's something I know have learned about you through our friendship. Like you waiting for that ball to drop.
The shoe yeah. And
or the shoe.
Yeah.
The shoe to drop.
And it does though. But it does with everybody, and it does with everybody in different ways. Okay. So like it could be your car accident. It could be, a bill you wasn't planning on having to pay, for me personally, something recently that just came to light. My son, we finally had a little boy. And he's the prince.
He is the prince of the palace.
Of the palace.
He is.
And he was diagnosed with heart disease. And so that navigating that has been very difficult for me as a mama. And he's 5 months old. So basically what happened was he was a big giant baby. Okay. He was 9 pounds, 9 ounces when he was born. Just beautiful child. And, you think a child that's 9 pounds doesn't need to go to the NICU. Well, this baby had to be pampered in the NICU because he had low blood sugar. So off he goes to the NICU. I'm falling apart because I've never had a baby that had to go to the NICU, whatever. We got to stay with him the whole time. He was only there for like 5 days or whatever. It was fine.
That was a journey for you.
And
though.
that
in the moment,
I was so heartbroken. I was like, oh my God, my baby. Oh my goodness, to see him with all the tubes and everything. And then routine, he had a heart murmur. No big deal. All babies usually do until the little flap closes or however they say. And then so they did a routine ultrasound. And it turns out he doesn't show symptoms. He's otherwise a very healthy child, but this child has heart disease. And his left ventricle is not built in the way that it should be. So it doesn't pump as well as the muscle is not smooth. It's rough inside. And so he has recently been put on medication and just taking care of him and making sure he gets all his medicine is kind of a full-time job. And I was just like, I knew that something was going to be happening that was out of my control, because I like to control my space, and I don't know a person who doesn't.
Sure.
Who doesn't.
I mean, if you have the option to feel helpless or to be in control, you're going to pick to be in control.
Right. So we knew about it, and then they sent us to a specialist in New Orleans, and then specialist in New Orleans confirmed it and then put him on all the meds. And I'm just like, and she's like, there's a large range to this. It could be controlled with medicine or heart transplant, or
it's extremes.
It's two extremes, and
no symptoms his whole life or sudden death.
Correct.
I mean, Lord.
So of course I'm focusing on sudden death. And but then I think, then I have to rein myself in and think, and this has been my consolation. Jesus has been my consolation. He has. And I told Koa, I said, listen, this is bad. I said, but every stepping stone that has brought us to this moment has prepared me for this moment right here. And this moment is that I can do only what I can do. The professionals can do only what professionals can do. But my God is a big and a mighty God. So like miracles are not out of his reach.
Oh God, no.
So we are praying for healing, but then also had we not going to the NICU, we would not know about this. This had never been on our radar.
Right.
The child is meeting milestones.
Oh,
He's
yeah.
doing everything all my other babies did. And so it was kind of confusing. It's confusing for us, but let me tell you, we had some dark days.
Yeah.
You know, some dark days. But that's life.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah. And it's okay to feel those dark days, but you have to choose not to stay in them. You know, because not all hope is not lost ever.
Not ever.
Not ever. And yeah, that's a choice though, you know. That's
praying for and just praying for God's peace, yelling out to him, you know. And I know we do this so often, you know, in very inappropriate times, you know, just shouting out to Jesus. It can be a very good coping mechanism.
Sometimes it's like that. I was joking this morning on the way to school. My kids was arguing. I had gotten like 2 pieces of bad news already by 8 o'clock this morning.
You see?
And on the way to school, I was like, all right, that's it. We praying right now. Jesus, please help us to have a wonderful day today. And like I'm praying through gritted teeth. But I was like, that's it. And I'm like, why? God hears our gritted teeth prayers too, you know, and he already knows how we feel. So might as well not, if we aggravate him, like, Jesus, please help me to stop being aggravated right now.
But you have to know to do that. You know what I'm saying? You have to know that gritted teeth prayers is a prayer anyway. And you have to know that that's where you got to go first. Yeah. There's nothing else, you know.
What else is there?
There is nothing.
I mean, be miserable, slap your children, slap somebody else, cuss somebody out, or pray through gritted teeth. Yeah. You know, what's going to benefit you?
Right.
The most?
I mean, it's just real life, y'all. It's just real life.
Yes.
And sometimes you got to pray through gritted teeth. Sometimes you got to sit in the bathtub for a little while, collect your soul.
Girl.
Before you come out. And it can be hard to come out of that other side if you don't know that you gotta go to Jesus first, you know?
Yeah.
And like I said, I ain't got it all figured out.
No.
But having him at the front and the forefront of this and surrounding myself with people like this, that has been my consolation.
Yeah. We all know people that don't have the most positive opinion about some things. And I'm gonna just be honest with you. I won't say distance yourself from it, but you might have to cut out some things, especially when you're dealing with a situation. Like I've always felt and believed this, like, and my mom always cautioned me, like, be careful who you tell your life to, so to speak. Like even not just your dreams and stuff, but like when you're sick or when somebody has cancer or when somebody is going through something. Words are powerful, and my mama would be like, don't speak that negative on me, or don't speak that negative. Oh, well, she has this or she has that, you know, and my mama's like, no. The how she says this. The fact is so-and-so has cancer. The truth is they are healed by Jesus's blood. So it's like, I know, but that's how you
come on here with us. Gosh, that woman is so, my goodness.
You have to speak to the symptoms and you speak to the fact. You speak truth to it, that it's already been healed and it's already been done by Jesus's. The stripes he bore on the cross has freed us from all that.
Oh my God.
I know.
She's so good.
This is what I was brought up with. This is how come. And now I can pour this into other people.
I love that you can share that. You sharing it with me is such a blessing, but imagine sharing it with everybody, you know? Oh, we got to have her here. We got to have her here.
She would be so happy.
So, but I really want to say though, coming off of what you just said, people will tell you, oh, well, so-and-so had this and you know how that ended up for her.
That's what I'm talking about. Stuff like that. Like you have to, no, we don't want none of that. We speak in life.
But it's not only that though, Koa, that was their story.
Yeah.
And God made us all in his own image and likeness. And I see that little Jesus molding those little babies on the, you know what I'm talking
I
about?
saw that.
On the clay
Oh,
wheel.
like it
And
was a clay and it was.
yeah. And I'm like, but this is my, and I
Yes.
saw that the day we went to New Orleans to the
Of course you
specialist.
did.
And I just sent it to my husband and I'm like, but look at this child.
Yeah.
This is not any other child that's been studied and had this and all this thing. This is this child. This is this child that we were gifted and that the Lord specially made for us and our family and for me to grow him in the faith. And I just, like this is his story.
Like, you don't think that God already knew? That this was, you don't, and you can take comfort in, you can be like, well, why, God? Why would you let this happen? Or you can take comfort in the fact that he already knew. So he is setting, like you said, you can look and see him in every stepping stone that got y'all to this point so that you would know about it. Although you kind of wish probably you didn't, but at the same time, you needed to know about it. So he made sure you knew about it so that you can deal with what you can do. You can control what you can control.
Right.
You do your best and you let God do the rest.
That's right.
That's how you live.
He's a part of our story. He's a part of our family.
And you never know what your cross, carrying it, your cross, how that's going to help somebody else.
Right.
You never know. Years down the road, a scared new mama approaches you and you get to share your journey with her, and that helps her and keeps her out of the hole of depression and helplessness and hopelessness because of your story. You just never know.
You just don't know. You really don't. And we know that, especially in the past, I don't know, year, how many people come up to us and share their stories with us. And it's been a blessing. It really is. So I just wanted y'all to know that it's not always as it seems, Things look good.
And we will gladly take your prayers for baby Bennett.
Yes.
But you make sure to speak life over him. Yes. Don't let me find out you saying nothing bad or nothing negative.
Speak life, please. Life. Yes, your prayers are very welcome.
And I'm just going to go right in because I want to mention Sure Title.
Yes, please do.
Sure Title and Abstracting Incorporated. Okay, you can choose Sure Title and Abstract for all your title needs. They handle refinancing, new construction, renovations, general real estate transactions, successions, title transfers, all that kind of stuff. Maria Petrie has over 20 years of experience in the real estate, banking, and home building industries. And Sure Title was voted, y'all, #1 in the Times Best of Acadiana in 2024.
That's like the Grammys of this.
It is the Grammys
area.
Of this. The whole business
big awards,
industry around here. It sure is. And they also make sure that they communicate with all parties involved in the transactions because they know communication is key and everything is done in a timely and correct manner. So if you need any type of title closing work, abstracting work, you go ahead and call Sure Title at 337 451-5959 or visit their website, thesurechoice.com. Make the sure choice. Choose Sure Title for your closing.
And this is one of those places that you really don't need, until you need it. You don't know about it.
You don't know until you need it.
Take your little address book. I don't know if anybody else still does that, but write it down and
because one day you might need this.
You'd never know.
Exactly.
All right.
Okay.
So, we didn't talk about this, but I'm going to spring this on you. When was a time in your life where you had some sort of difficulty that you had to overcome?
The hardest time in my life, and it was, looking back, it was totally brought upon myself. In my teenage years, I was going through this like rebellious stage. I knew better. I knew how I should have been acting, and I knew to trust my parents because I knew they loved me, but I just got caught up in like what I wanted,
right?
What I thought I knew what I wanted.
There's no fun in trusting your
parents.
There's no
fun in trusting. And not at 16 years old, I knew better, And I look back and I'm like, golly, you dummy! Like all the heartache that I brought on myself and also on my poor parents. But I feel like I missed out. Like there was a few years of my life that I was not a nice person. And I know you're probably like, huh?
Mm-mm.
because and God brought me out of that. God, when I finally, well, I mean, I'll just tell you, it was all about a boy. It was all about a boy.
Mm-hmm.
Like, it was a relationship I was pursuing that
Usually
I knew
it
I
is.
should.
Yeah.
At that age, it's usually about a boy. And it was a relationship I knew wasn't good for me, but I can change him. Love will light the way. Love will change the world.
And if I love this one now, then I'll get married and we'll be happy.
Oh, getting married. When I turn 18, we'll get married and it'll be bliss.
And we'll live in our house, and I'll just be the most perfect wife. I know.
Oh.
Because you're so jaded, you have blinders on so bad
much.
whenever you're that age.
Sometimes I'm like, Lord, why do you give? Because it's hormones, when you're that age, you're like, your hormones are so strong and like your feelings are so strong.
Yeah.
I'm like, Lord, why you didn't wait till we were like 30 when we know better to give us these hormones?
Right. So we could think clearly.
So we could think. Yes.
Ah, man, you're right.
But
that is usually it, though.
That's the time in your life where you feel so strongly about something and you just know better. And if I could go back, I would definitely change some things. But looking back, I look back honestly on that time and now, like, seeing as a parent, like, the amount of spiritual like steadfastness and courage that my mama had to have to stand her ground, because she knew what was best for me. And I pray all the time that my kids will never do this to me. Lord help. Because you know what they say, well, you're gonna
get it back.
You're gonna grow up and have one just like you. And my mama's like, no, I don't wish that on you. And I'm like,
and I hope you get it 10 times worse.
Please, Jesus, have mercy on me. No. But I just, there was a few years where I just kind of lost my mind, basically. And I thankfully came to my senses. And let me tell you, less than a year after I let go of that and ask for forgiveness, ask for so much forgiveness from Jesus, from God, from my parents, and less than a year later, I met my future husband when I finally let go of that. And my mama kept trying to tell me, like, you think God's going to ask you to give up and not this thing that you think is so good and not have something better for you?
Yeah.
Like that image of Jesus with the teddy bear holding behind his back.
Yes.
That was it. And I was like, when I finally realized, like, what am I holding on to? Like, what am I doing? I just wish it would have taken me less time to figure that out.
Right.
But,
but God lights the path.
And coming back to, you never know what your experiences are going to help someone else. One person in particular was going through the same thing, and her mama asked me to talk to her about it. And if that is the only reason I went through that, it was worth it.
To help.
Because I saved, but I helped her. It was like it was full circle. It was a full circle moment, and I came back to it, and I relived those things in my head, and I told her everything that I was like, oh yeah. I'm like, he probably tells you this too, huh? Oh yeah. Oh, he probably makes you feel like that too, huh? And it was everything I had went through, and she made the choice then to get out of it and didn't go through those years like I did. And I was like, my mama said, you see that maybe if that's the only thing that came out of it and you saved her from going through down that same struggle, there you go. Jesus will always use something to glorify his name, even if it's not a good thing. Like, he has a way of turning things around. You ever look at that and you're like, man, that was a sucky situation, but look what God did to turn it around and make something good out of it.
Oh my gosh, yes.
Yeah, you see?
So many times in my life, as you're saying these things, I'm like, man, I didn't even think about those years. Like, that was horrible.
Yeah.
And then I just feel like so many times, and that's why I am like I am. I'm always waiting for something bad to happen because, like, life has just punched me so many times. And but thankfully, we have the faith to lean on.
Right.
But it was just like I couldn't. At one point in my life, it was just everybody was passing. My mama chases mama, chases the other mama,
God.
my aunt, my daddy, all within like a 2-year span. These very important people in our lives were all passing. So that was me. I'm like, okay, once I finally was like able to sit after my daddy's funeral and like breathe, because, you know, and I had my baby, and I'm like, now my baby has to grow up with no grandfather. And it was just like, once I was able to come up for air, I was like, okay, but what else? What else could be worse than that? You know, what could be worse than that? Because you always try to prepare yourself for the worst thing that could happen. You know, the worst thing that could happen is you lose your faith and you spiral.
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah.
So, but thankfully, you know, thankfully that did not happen.
Yeah. Yeah. Because I mean, at the end of the day, we just all trying to get to heaven.
Yeah.
You know, we just all trying to get to heaven. Everybody want to go to heaven, but nobody want to go now. That's what that song says.
Yeah, it's true. Not today, please.
But yeah, no, it and that could open up a whole nother topic, because I'm thinking of how like the church teaches us that the purpose of our marriage is to get each other to heaven.
Oh,
you ever
wow,
heard
yeah.
that? Yeah, that let's make a mental note to come back to that topic one day, because that's a great topic.
That is a great topic.
But yeah, y'all, just I don't know, if you're going through some hard times right now and you feel kind of hopeless and helpless, we hope that these conversations make you realize that you have hope, that you have a Father in heaven that you can turn to. And maybe, I don't know where your walk is with the Lord, or if you're even a Christian or whatever, but he's there ready for you, and he's there for you.
And it's never too late.
No, it's never too late. You can never sin enough to separate his love for you. Never.
He's always waiting for you to come back. You know, if you're not in a place where you're very faith-filled, please understand he is always, always waiting for you to come back. And he's always going to be there with open arms, no matter what you've done.
Absolutely.
You could be the worst of the worst. He's still waiting for you to come back.
Yeah. So leaning on your faith and filling your mind and your heart with scripture, like self-help books and all that, that's all fine and stuff, but that's just that's a temporary, that's a little that makes you feel good while you're reading it type of thing. But you want to really fill your soul up with joy and with peace and hope. You open that Bible, you hear me, and find a good devotional too. And if you need some, you can always ask us, because we have a few that we love.
We filthy with devotionals,
Putin prayer books, and devotionals. Yeah, for me, like I've tried to do, like, I'm gonna start the Bible from the beginning to the end. I honestly, I don't recommend that. I mean,
I've even tried Bible in a year.
I've tried, I know.
And it's great, but I can't get through the whole thing.
So it's more of like, it's our guidebook for life. It's our guidebook for life. And if you having a specific issue, like I just Googled before I read those scriptures, what does the Bible say about depression, or what does the Bible say about this or that? Or I put scripture for hard times. That's literally all I Googled. Go get those scriptures and then look it up. Then go look it up in the Bible. And I like to read a little bit before and a little bit after to kind of get some context of how this was brought, up. But that's just a recommendation that I'm going to say, like, or get a daily devotional, read it, and then go look up the scriptures that go with it. And that's how you feed your soul, you feed your spirit, and you stay filled. And you combat those feelings of hopelessness and helplessness. Like, that's the only way I know to do it.
Right. Well, and sometimes there is, I just want to say it's okay to be on medication, because I am personally on Zoloft. I have to, or I can't function. And I think that you need to know that's okay.
Yes, I would never say, like, somebody with anxiety, oh, well, you just need to pray. You just need to pray more.
Pray it away.
No. There are certainly times where God gives knowledge to doctors and scientists.
Yes.
And that's okay. That is totally okay. I mean, in my eyes. But also having that spiritual food for you too.
Absolutely.
It's okay to do both. It's okay to do both.
Because I just didn't want people to think we're just saying, oh, this is the end all be all.
No.
But, because for me, it's not true. For me, it's not true. And that's okay. Yep. That's okay too. But do what's best for you.
Absolutely.
Jesus is the best for you. And it's okay that if you need to have a little help in the.
That's it. Yeah. To balance whatever's going on. Know, that's okay.
Because we live in a very ugly world. Very easy to spiral, but we don't want that for you.
No, we don't.
All right. And that is another episode of Coffee Talk with the Cajun Mamas. So big thanks to Long's Products, our grand sponsor for this month. Our family-owned and operated janitorial supply company from Alexandria. You can find them in their showroom right off of I-49, exit 83. They stock cleaning supplies, mops, brooms, trash bags, to-go plates, anything that you can think of for your home. Cleaning supplies, gumbo bowls. They got it there. They have their own brand of chemicals, their Pelican brand, very rightly named for Louisiana.
Yes, I love that.
Nice and strong, and they have free delivery to commercial accounts in their delivery area, so you can contact them for more details on that. Get all of their products on the TikTok shop, Amazon, and their website www.longsproducts.com, and you can find them on all the socials, Facebook, Instagram, TikTok at Long's Products.
Yes. Thank you, Longs.
Thank you, Longs.
And thank you, listeners.
Yes.
Thank you, listeners, for tuning in to another episode of Coffee Talk with the Cajun Mamas. We appreciate y'all so much.
We really do.
Yes, and we will see y'all next time.
Absolutely.
Thanks for joining us on Coffee Talk with the Cajun Mamas. We hope you enjoyed your cup of coffee and our chat. Don't forget to subscribe and share with your friends. Until next time, keep the coffee brewing and the conversation flowing.